Rob Howley will not be joining the queue to succeed Warren Gatland as Wallace head coach after the 2019 World Cup. His decision has nothing to do with the criticism he received from the Ireland flanker Sean O'Brien after the Lions' drawn series with New Zealand in the summer, or allegations of bullying made by a former Wales player this month in his autobiography. Rather, it reflects Howley's desire for change after what will be 12 years in Test rugby. Gatland's loyal lieutenant since the New Zealander arrived in Wales at the end of 2007 appeared to be in line to take over a year ago when he stepped in as head coach for the second time when the Kiwi took a Lions sabbatical. I was having conversations then about finishing with Wales after the World Cup, and my wife, Carrie, thought I should publicly say then that I would be going at the same time as Warren, says Howley. I thought it would not send the right signal to the coaches I was going to be working with for the next 12 months. But in hindsight, my wife was right. Howley has been speaking publicly for the first time since O'Brien made his comments about the Lions coaches during a radio interview 6 weeks ago. Howley was the only coach singled out, criticized for deferring some authority to players, the playmakers Johnny Sexton and Owen Farrell in particular, as the tour went on. I was disappointed to hear his remarks, and there was a forum on tour to raise concerns. He says, I exchanged WhatsApp messages with Sean and spoke to him on the phone a couple of days later when he apologized and said that many of the good things he had to say about the tour were left out. Rob Howley hits out at disgraceful and media treatment of Warren Gatland. Read more. We did try to empower players. Having worked with Johnny and Owen in Australia in 2013, any sensible coach would involve them in decision-making. The way the Premiership and Pro 12 panned out last season, they were not involved in the finals, and nor was the other outside half, Dan Biggar. I was able to spend time with them in the camps at the Vale of Glamorgan and in Dublin, and that helped lay a foundation. It was Howley's third Lions tour as attack coach, but notably different to South Africa in 2009 and Australia 4 years later. I had never experienced anything like it because we played twice a week and traveled twice a week. That left 2 days for coaching. When you look at the preparation time and what we achieved, I am proud as a coach. That is why what Sean had to say was so disappointing. But we had a 20-minute chat on the phone, and I am sure we will catch up when Wales play Ireland in the Six Nations. When you consider how well New Zealand played in the Rugby Championship, it shows how our achievement should be respected. Were there things I would have done differently? Probably sitting down with the forwards and talking about attack shape. But the time frame made it really hard for the coaches. In the first 3 weeks, when we were laying the attacking foundations, Sean was mainly in rehab after an injury. He made his comments, and it is tomorrow's fish and chip paper. You move on and it will soon be forgotten. I still have the greatest respect for him and thought he was outstanding on the tour. Howley has also had to defend himself from claims from the former Wales and Lions fullback Lee Byrne, who has claimed the coach bullied him in the latter years of his Test career. I am very surprised by his comments, says Howley. I deny the allegations and I am seeking advice. Howley is using his final 2 years with Wales to reshape their attacking game as they build for the World Cup. Their most successful years under the current management came when they perfected a style suited to a time when risk was minimized. Slow possession was either sent high into the air or given to a bulldozer masquerading as a center to turn defenses into rubble, and so was quick ball. The squad for the 4 autumn internationals announced on Tuesday shows a change in direction, with 4 10s included and Jamie Roberts omitted. We have talked about the ability to pass and play in space since the last World Cup, says Howley. Having 2 ball players at 10 and 12 is big in the global game now, led by the Southern Hemisphere. England have taken that road under Eddie Jones, and after we toured New Zealand last year we have talked about the ability of our front five to pass and play with width. It takes time, and we have an opportunity this November to explore options. Wales will consider playing the Gloucester fly half Owen Williams at inside centre to give them added creativity, and Howley intends to leave Wales on a high. We have been together as a management team for a long time and have had a lot of success, he says. I have been lucky enough to work for a man, Gatland, whose honesty and respect in world rugby are there for all to see. I immensely enjoyed being interim head coach, and I would like to have that position at a club. Coaching in England or France is on my bucket list, and I will be leaving Wales at the right time. I have learned a lot in the last 10 years, and the experience of being involved with a team day in, day out would be good for me. Whether that opportunity will come along, I don't know.